Hey everyone, welcome back. So we got a ton of requests to cover this one, and honestly, it's kind of spooky. So let's dive right in. SIM swapping.
Mm,
We're
right.
going to break down exactly what it is, why it's so dangerous, and most importantly, how to protect yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this isn't just something that you see in movies. This is like a real and growing threat, and it can have some pretty serious consequences.
Yeah, it's like one of those things you hear about and you think, oh, that'll never happen to me.
Exactly.
But the truth is, it's a lot more common than people realize,
Yeah.
and it can happen to anyone.
So maybe we should start with like the basics.
Sure.
What exactly is SIM swapping?
So basically, SIM swapping is when someone, a hacker, a scammer, whatever you want to call them, they manage to gain control of your phone number.
Okay.
And they do this by tricking your phone company into transferring your number to a SIM card that they control.
Okay, so how do they convince the phone company to do that?
Well, there are a couple of ways they can do it. One common method is social engineering, which basically means they're going to manipulate people into giving them information.
Right.
They might call up the phone company pretending to be you, claiming they lost their phone and need to activate a new SIM card.
Oh, okay.
And to make it believable, they'll use personal information about you that they've gathered from other sources like social media, data breaches, phishing scams, things like that.
So they're like using your mother's maiden name, your first pet's name, whatever, to
Exactly.
like prove that they're you. Okay, so it's kind of like a puzzle that they're putting together.
Yeah, it's all about gathering enough information to create a convincing profile.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say they manage to pull this off. Like what happens next? What can they do with your phone number?
Well, that's where things get really dangerous because, these days our phone numbers are linked to pretty much everything. Your bank accounts, your social media, your email, even two-factor authentication.
Right, which is supposed to be protecting us.
Right, exactly.
So if they have control of your phone number, they basically have control of all of that.
Yeah, it's like they have the keys to your digital kingdom.
Okay, so like walk me through some specific examples of what they could do.
So, let's say you have two-factor authentication set up for your bank account,
Right.
which is a good thing.
Yeah,
But when you try to log in, the bank sends a verification code to your phone.
right.
Well, if the scammer has control of your number, they'll get that code,
Yeah.
and they can bypass the two-factor authentication and get into your account.
And then they can just drain your bank account.
Potentially, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They could also change your passwords, lock you out of your accounts, even use your social media to spread misinformation or scam your friends and family.
So this is way beyond just like a minor inconvenience. This is like serious identity theft.
Absolutely. This
Yeah?
is like really high-stakes stuff.
Okay, so we've talked about the social engineering aspect, but I've also heard about cases where people's SIM cards are physically stolen.
Yeah, that's another method that scammers use.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, it could be as simple as someone snatching your phone and swapping out the SIM card before you even realize it's gone.
Oh, wow.
Or they might target someone who's not as tech savvy, maybe an older person, and convince them to hand over their SIM card under false pretenses.
So like they pretend to be from the phone company or something.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy how easy it seems for them to do this.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so dangerous.
Okay, so this is all pretty terrifying,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping that you have some good news for us. Like, how can we protect ourselves from this?
Definitely. There are definitely things you can do.
Okay, good.
The first and most important step is to set up a strong PIN or password for your mobile account.
Okay.
This is like your first line of defense. It makes it much harder for scammers to impersonate you and convince the phone company to transfer your number.
Okay, so like a unique PIN, not something obvious like your birthday or 1234.
Exactly. Yeah, make it something strong and hard to guess.
Okay, and what else can we do?
So another crucial step is to enable notifications for any sensitive accounts, especially your financial accounts.
Okay.
This way, if there's any unusual activity, you'll be alerted right away and you can take action before too much damage is done.
So like if someone tries to log into my bank account from a new device, I'll get a text message or an email.
Exactly.
That's a good tip.
And on top of that, be very careful about what personal information you share online.
Right.
Think twice before posting things like your full birthday, your address, your mother's maiden name, all those details that scammers can use to build a profile of you.
So like even if it seems like harmless information, it could be used against you.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
It's all about minimizing those digital breadcrumbs that you're leaving behind.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so to recap, Set up a strong PI for your mobile account,
Hmm.
enable notifications for sensitive accounts, and be mindful of what you share online. Those are
Exactly.
the key takeaways.
And just remember, technology is always changing, and scammer tactics are evolving too, so it's really important to stay informed about the latest threats and adjust your security habits accordingly.
That's great advice. Knowledge is power, and now you have the power to protect yourselves.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
See ya.